Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Suspect in St. Anne bomb threat arrested. The police have detained the man who recorded himself issuing a bomb threat at the Ruby Station service in Ochoa, St. Anne on Sunday. The 25-year-old man was picked up in Hull Harbour, St. Catherine on Monday afternoon. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, head of the St. Catherine South Police, said the man was found about 12:30 and will be handed over to the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC. A senior investigator told reporters that the man will likely be charged for breaches of the Cybercrime Act. Under the law, a person convicted in the parish court of transmitting messages that constitute a threat faces a maximum fine of $4 million or 4 years in prison. A conviction in the circuit court carries a tougher sentence of 10 years behind bars. The threat, which was posted on social media, disrupted the operations of several businesses in Ochoa after the police cornered off a section of the town. No bomb was found. The police had asked the person who claimed responsibility for the threat via TikTok to report to the nearest police station. The man, who said he was an artist, described the bomb threat as a prank for promotional purposes. Second person dies following motorcycle crash in Tower Isles. A second person has died following Friday's motorcycle crash on the Tower Isles Main Road in St. Mary. Regis Bard, 34, of Days Mountain in the parish, died of his injuries Sunday in hospital. His father, 60-year-old Seve Ball, died of the injuries on Friday evening. It's reported that Mr. Ball and his son were traveling on a motorcycle when he lost control of the vehicle, which crashed into a sign pole. The injured men were rushed to hospital, where the father was pronounced dead and the son admitted in serious condition. Whole heap a gunshot. When a handful of men suddenly moved into their community residence of compound, had no idea they were wanted by the police, who had labeled them murderous gangster members. It was only when the dust settled on Saturday, after a fire gunshot between members of the Joint Police Military Operation and the men, that residents learned their identity. The man them never give any problem, and then just coming at the place not doing much, so it was a surprise when we hear them in a gang and a murder people, said one resident among the few willing to talk. He refused to give his name. According to Spot Valley residents who requested not to be named, the thugs' unfamiliarity with the terrains appeared to have been their downfall. They say it was a section heavy with tree and overgrown bushes where the confrontation took place, with the armed men trying to take over the security forces took evasive action while returning fire. How I hear it, the man them have the river behind them, which have a deep gully, so because of that they couldn't run and go down in a barney town or whatever, and that's how the police get them, one man remarked. Compound, a relatively quiet area, sits in the hills nested between Spot Valley and Barneytown in St. James. The area made the news on Saturday when words came that gunmen had engaged cops and soldiers in a shootout in Spot Valley. At the end of it, 3 armed men were dead: 24-year-old Nestor Zado Gallimore, along with siblings 24-year-old Javon and 19-year-old Jadine Henry. As the Jamaica Constabulary First Media release described the events, 2 of the gunmen killed were among Jamaica's most wanted, and all 3 are believed to be responsible for at least 10 murders in the parish. Gallimore is said to have been on the police radar since 2019, when he was held on a shooting charge in retirement St. James. There are also unconfirmed reports that the group is responsible for a recent double murder in Dumfries section of the parish, among other killings. In the meantime, a visit to compound on Sunday saw more doors firmly shut and residents unwilling to speak about what took place the day before. 2 men who were seen in a car quickly pointed out that they were not from the area, merely passing through. One resident of compound, though, described what the standoff sounded like. "Is a whole heap of gunshot bust up there," he told reporters. The man said the explosions could be heard from across a number of other communities in the area. "The thing never normal," he added. He also repeated rumors swirling since Saturday that a lawman had been injured during the shootout. Police sources have told reporters, though, that none of their own was shot during the confrontation. Heartache. Pain was evident in Laverne Morgan's voice Sunday morning while she was getting ready for church. 3 days prior, she sat in the St. Anne's Parish Court and watched as 2 men on trial for her daughter's murder were freed. "Honest to God, Me blank right out. It is like I don't know what happened. The judge said the case weak. Oh God, Morgan said. I feel like I went back down to where I was coming from. I don't know. I have to go to church to get like a blessing this morning because I don't know. The wound that I got, it opened out right back. To know that when the justice and nothing was served, I had to come out of the courthouse, she told reporters frustrated. Her 14-year-old daughter, Robin Wilson, who lived with her in Top Hill, St. Anne's Bay, was reported missing on Friday, October 19, 2018. After a frantic community search, the teenager's body was found 2 days later about 6:30 a.m. in a garbage bag with the throat slash. 2 days after, Raven's school bag was located at a premises in the community. In October 2018, two 15-year-old boys were charged in relation to Raven's killing. One was charged with murder and the other accessory after the fact to murder. The jury trial, which started early in May, concluded on Wednesday, May 31, 2023, as both accused men, now 19 years old, were free. One of the accused, who acted as a witness, had under a plea deal with the prosecution, pleaded guilty to the offense of misprision of felony and gave evidence against the other accused. Misprision of felony is a crime that occurred when someone knows a felony has been committed but fails to inform the authorities. In addition, he gave a statement to the police in terms of what he was going to testify and gave evidence. However, his credibility was found wanting as a result of inconsistencies and contrasting statements. The prosecution was constrained to offer no further evidence, and so he was the sole witness. Justice Dale Palmer sentenced the witness to 1 year imprisonment, with the sentence suspended for 3 years. If he committed any offense in the next 3 years, he will have to go to prison for that offense, as well as serve the year for the misprision of felony. In essence, he is free unless he commits another offense. Efforts to get a comment from Assistant Director of Public Prosecution Andrea Wedderburn, who had conducted the case, were futile up to press time on Sunday. In April this year, Raven would have turned 19. Each birthday since her death has been painful for the family. Morgan said seeing the accused men in court and hear the testimony was brutal. It is rough. It is not a nice feeling that I am going through. Only God knows the pain I am going through. At one point, I couldn't manage. I just started shaking. One of the police officers had to come and hold me. The plastic bag that they put my daughter in could put me in my grave. They used one plastic bag to tie Raven from her head to her waist, and then from her foot to her waist, she stated. The grieving mother, who disclosed that she contemplated suicide at one point after being overcome by her daughter's gruesome murder, said she intended to protest today. I am going to the streets today to protest for the street, St. Anne Police Station in the courthouse. I have to take it to the streets. I am going to the extra mile to do this for my child. I cannot take this. If I have to be on the road every day, I have to get justice. It is like nobody is talking about this. It is like it is covered down, she told reporters. If it was your young daughter, how would you feel? Think about your child. Put your child there. You don't know the pain that I feel. I am wondering where God leave me and gone to. Every single soul saying, this cannot be right, she said. A team from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency had provided grief counseling to Raven's relatives and residents in the community. Raven was a third-form student at Orchard High School, and counseling sessions were also conducted for children affected by her death.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share,